Racing on Sunday takes place out at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, where we've got a 10-race program to look forward to, and we've got 3 minor features on the card. And it all begins in race number 5, where we have got the Highland Knight Cup over 2,400 meters. Race number 6, which is the World Sports Bet-in Scarlet Lady, and race number 7, it is the World Sports Bet-in Sledgehammer, which is a listed race. A race day sponsored by World Sports Bet-in. Race number 1 on the program, 11:35 is the off time. It is a maiden plate over the 1,000 meter trip that gets proceedings underway. The bipod will commence with the running of race number 2, place accumulator race number 3, and the pick 6 in race number 4. Jackpot 1, race 5, and jackpot 2 in race number 7, as it is a 10-race program. The first race on the card, number 10, Old Fashioned, is your favorite, trading at 22-10. This is for Clinton Binder and Shaunville. Number 3, Tams Knight, newcomer to the province. He is at 7-2. You can get 9-2 about number 1, Captainship. It is 5-1 about number 2, Galactic Lover. Number 9, Life on the Tides, 7-1 out to 8-1, now back into 6-1. So there's been a bit of support for number 9, Life on the Tides, from the MJ Ordendal yard. And then it is 14-1 and better bar those. Now, when having a look at race number 1, number 10, Old Fashioned, he is a horse that's been knocking on the door. Clinton Binder is a trainer. He comes to KZN with solid high-felt form to his name. He's run 3 seconds. 2 of those seconds have come at his last 2 outings, when just finding 1-2 good on the day. It's personal 2 starts back. And then last time out, Hemisphere, who had the right form in the race to get the job done, and Old Fashioned was just second best on the day. He gets the services of Shaunville, and as I mentioned, he's been threatening to get that maiden out the way, and this appears to be the right type of race for him to get the job done. When having a look at the opposition that he does take on, there's not a great deal of, when it comes to strength of form lines at least, not a lot to write home about. Number 1, Captainship. He's been off the track for about 147 days. He's been gelded in the interim, and he ran 4th behind Wherever I Lay My Hat, and that was over 1,200 meters. He's a horse that has run 2 solid efforts at his last 2 starts, and he could certainly make quite a nice return. Andrew Fortune does take the ride now for MJ Ordendal. You've got number 2, Galactic Lover, who's been improving with each start and ran his best race last time out, when second behind One Arm Bandit. That form line hasn't held up to date. There's been 5 runners and nothing to write home about yet from that form line, but they all did finish behind Galactic Lover. And you've got this horse Tams Knight, who, if he's ready after that rest, he could certainly make his presence felt in a big way. He's got some useful Western Cape form to his name. He is having his first start for the Robbie Hill yard, 306 days since his last run. And if he's ready to rock and roll, well, he's going to be a massive contender. And the betting market has got him safe at around 7-2. And then you've got Bomber Stream, who's a well-tried maiden. So after all is said and done, Old Fashioned, he is the right horse in the race, and I'm going to make him my top choice in this race at 22-10 in the market. He could well be the type of horse that you want to start your all to comes with on the day. Could be a nice price. And then number 3, Tams Knight, well, if he's ready, then he is the main danger to number 10, Old Fashioned. So I'm going to tip Tams Knight back in second. Third position, I'm going to go with number 2, Galactic Lover, and then fourth, number 1, Captainship. So other betting market, I've got them. That is, how I'm going to sort of tip them here. Just third and fourth is between 1 and 2 at least. But I think 10 is the right horse here in race number 1. And at 22-10, I think punters will be willing to have a go here with the son of Canford Cliff for Clinton Binder and Shaunville. We're on to race number 2 on the program, over 1,000 meters, maiden plate for fillies and mares. It is the start of the bipod. 10:12 is the off time for this contest. And number 3, Are You Sure, tops the betting boards here at 18-10. Number 6, Lucien, is at 7-2. Number 8, Ruby Rising, is trading at 5-1 in the market. There's been lots of betting support around number 2, Clickbait, who is the daughter of Canford Cliffs, a first timer from the MJ Ordendal yard. A filly that is bred to be very quick. 16-1 into 6-1, and then you can get 12-1 and better bar those. So I'm going to start with number 2, Clickbait here. 16-1 into 6-1. This is a daughter of Canford Cliffs, as I mentioned, and she's a full sister to No Filter, who's a 5-time winner and is an absolute ball of speed, winning from 1,000 meters up to 1,100 meters. That is No Filter, and she's trained by Teeny Prinsloo. And she is also a full sister to Instaworthy, who won as a 2-year-old over 800 meters, and that was on the 20th of December 2024. So that was quite recent and has run 2 solid thirds subsequently. So lots of speed in the pedigree here. Hashtag Strat was an out-and-out sprinter, very, very quick filly, and this individual could certainly be one to keep an eye on debut, especially now that there's been betting support around her, and she's one that I think we'll have a look at her go down to the start before deciding whether we including her into the bipod. But according to the market, I would say just keep us fully on the safe side. Number 3, Are You Sure? Well, she has been run up at her last 2 starts behind Wings of Josephine, and then last time out behind Princess Goldie. She now drops back in trip to 1,000 meters, a distance that she tried once on debut when finishing 2nd. And she could be nicely teed up in this contest here. Samanga Kumalo takes a ride for the very first time for Gareth Van Zyl, and this filly is no doubt going to go very close to winning. Number 6, Lucien. She ran behind this horse, Are You Sure, on the run to Princess Goldie. So she's got about 3 lengths to find. She's got 2 rounds under the belt, and she ran 2nd last time out behind Greenlight Queen when just finding 1 too good on the day. That was over 1,200 meters. So she's certainly improving with racing. She drops in trip to 1,000 meters. Will be interesting to see how she goes with the drop in trip, but I think it could well suit her, daughter of Captain of All, and she's going to be a big runner in this contest. So those are the 2 horses that are likely to fight it out here. And when it comes to the first leg of the bipod, I think numbers 3 and 6, those are the 2 horses that will be good enough to get you through leg number 1. Number 4, Bell of Angeles, a filly that I'm involved in. It's been a bit frustrating in her career thus far. She's a filly that can tend to get worked up and run a race before the race is actually set to run, and she sweats up quite badly, and she seems to be a bit keen in the running as well. But we worked on a few things, and Serena Mudley and Tini have been hard at work with this filly, trying to get her to calm down and settle, and hopefully she could put her best foot forward. She's a 2-year-old taking on older horses. She's going over 1,000 meters, which I think will suit her a lot better. And on her 2-year-old form, well, she's going to be if things go according to plan for, she will make her presence felt at around 12 to 1 in the market. But I think numbers 3 and 6, they're going to be good enough here. Keep a close eye on number 2, Clickbait. If there is further support, and we'll wait for a comment on race day from MJ Ordendal regarding this filly. And if you're upbeat, well, then she's certainly going to be worth an inclusion into leg 1 of the bipod. But I'm going to tip them 3 from 6 as my top 2 choices here in race number 2. We're on to race number 3, which is the start of the place accumulator. 1,400 meters is the distance, and number 1, Pioneer Square, tops the betting boards here, 16 to 10 into 14 to 10. Number 9, Gran Canaria, is at 18 to 10. Number 4, Amandla Inkawetu, is at 11 to 2. You can then get 8 to 1 and better by all those. Scratches number 10, Tibbet Burke. It's a field of 10 runners that are set to compete in the start of the place accumulator. Now, when having a look at the 3rd race on the program, it could well turn out to be a straight shootout between numbers 1 and 9. But I do have respect for number 4 here from the Clinton Binder yard. Seanville takes a ride. Last time out, I expected him to go close to winning. It was Andrew Fortune's 1st or 2nd ride back, and this horse showed quite a bit of pace early on in the race, and then faded out to run 3 lengths off them. And I think that with that run under the belt, that was his 2nd run after layoff. There's been a winner, Give Me a Storm, from that form line, a subsequent winner. I think that this horse stepping back up in trip to 1,400 meters could be ideal. He's got Cape form to his name here, and beyond Scottish Links, 2 starts back, Arbitration coming through to win from that form line. So I think he's coming along the right way with racing, and I think that he's going to be a factor in this contest here. But the horse that they possibly all have to beat, I would say could well turn out to be number 1, Pioneer Square, from the Candice Dawson yard. Gavin Larina takes a ride. This horse has been gelded, and he's been rested after his last start on the 12th of December. He's been gelded on this. He was gelded 5 days later. And from his last form line, there's been 2 winners, that being Baynak and Hat Furious, coming through to win. He jumps from gate 1, which I think is a positive, and I think that he's going to go very close to winning. On his Highveld form, he's been knocking on the door, getting close to that maiden victory. He's run 2nd to One More Star, who seems like a useful sort from the Sean Terry yard. Not quite sure what level he'll go to, but he seems like also will win his fair share of races. And then he ran 2nd to Potberry, who at the time that I didn't necessarily think that that would be the strongest piece of form on offer, but that form line has held up quite nicely, and Potberry going on to win a couple more races afterwards. So I think Pioneer Square, he's going to go very close to winning. Healthy Respect for number 4, Amandla Ingowetu, and then number 9, Grand Canaria from the Justin Snaith yard. And Justin Snaith is in town. He's brought his horses here to KZN for the season, and he's got his first set of runners on Sunday. And this horse, last time out, he was second best behind Noble Hero in an open maiden, and the form line hasn't worked out, but there hasn't been any Cape racing since that day. And this horse, he was second best on the day. But that run to Red Dawn is a run that catches the eye, because there's been plenty winners from that form line. Red Dawn coming through to win, who was a winner. 10 Penny, who ran second, came through to win. The horse that ran fourth in that race, Umfula, has come through to win 2 races since. The horse that ran behind Grand Canary in 6th place, being Noble Hero, has come through to win. And then Gurkha, who won last week here in KZN, has also won from that form line. So Grand Canary could be well placed here in this contest. He is having his second round after rest. He's dropping a trip to 1400 meters, and he's definitely going to be a big player for Top Honor. So I'm going to tip them 1, 9, 4. Those are going to be the top 3 selections for me here in race number 3. When it comes to the first leg of the place accumulator, I think that you could either bank a number 1 or 9. I think one of those should be good enough to get you through leg number 1. If you're looking to double up, well then 1 and 9 will certainly be the 2 horses to play around. And then, as I mentioned, number 4, who I think could turn out to be quite a nice sort and win his fair share of races. He's got some fair form to his name, and I think back up in trip to 1400 meters will certainly suit him quite nicely. But yep, it is, as the market have got them here, 1 Pioneer Square as a favourite at 14 to 10, 18 to 10 about the 9, and then 11 to 2 about number 4. You're looking for playing the race, probably you could go with the boxed exactas here, maybe even trifectas with numbers 1, 4 and 9 in numerical order, but I'm going to tip them 1, 9 and 4. That's the order that I'm going to go in with here in race number 3. Race number 4, the start of the pick 6, a pool that I think will get to a sizable mark on Sunday with the competitive card that it is, and I think could certainly be a nice pool to play into as well. Fourth race, 20 past 1 is the off time. It is a class 4 for fillies and mares over 1400 meters, and it is a big field that are set to compete in this contest. It's a field of 15 runners with 3 reserves at the time of recording. No scratchings as things stand. Number 6, Radu, is your weak favourite, however has found a bit of support, 7 to 1 into 11 to 2. Number 8, Kawakazi, is at 6 to 1 along with number 13, Colorado Creek. You can get 7 to 1 about number 2, Princess Goldie, and number 10, La Madalena. It's then 12 to 1 and Better Ball. Those very, very tricky start to the first leg of the place accumulator, and it's a race where I think we're certainly going to drop tickets, and the pick 6 could be worth a bit of money here after leg number 1. And having a look at the field, number 3, Prom Queen, is a filly that keeps me interested. She I would say she's been a bit of an underachiever in her career, given the races that when she was with Dean Kaname, he tried her in, being the Strelitzia as a 2-year-old, then the Alan Robertson, and she was given a mark of 93. She's come down nicely in the ratings, now racing off a mark of 78. And I was encouraged by the headway that she made last time out when returning off arrest. She finished in 6th position, but she was only beaten under 2 lengths behind Tara Star that day over 1200 meters. She gives me the feel that 1400 meters is the distance that she's looking for. She's only gone the distance once before, and that was when she was on a mark of 93, and she ran 2 lengths behind Perilla, and that was when she just turned 3. So I think that this filly, now that she's dropped in the ratings, she jumps from gate number 3, going around the turn once again. She's been sprinting at her last 3 starts. She did go around the turn last time out when dropped out and doing her best work at the finish. I think she could be in the right type of race to make her presence felt, and she is trading at around 14 to 1 in the market. So I think there's certainly quite a bit of value there. Number 5, She's a Machine. As much as I think 1400 meters may just be on the sharper side for this filly, I think 1600 meters suits her quite nicely. I actually think that the race could map out quite nicely for this daughter of New Predator, who's got the ability. She was backed quite heavily last time out, 11 to 2 into 28 to 10 but she was just wide. She just had no luck in running at all last time out, and she fell into a hole over the final bit, beaten 10.5 lengths behind Chelsea Flower. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the day, that was the final day before the polytrack closed for renovation. And she is a horse that hasn't been competitive at Hollywoodbets Scottsville just yet, but those 2 starts have been when she's been sprinting. I think she's a better horse that she when she goes around the turn, especially over 14 and 1600 meters. So I think with the 1.5 kgs off the back, that brings her in with the 58.5, effectively racing off a mark of 82. I think she's a horse that can certainly make a presence felt here with Rachel Venica in the irons at 12-1 in the market. Number 6, Redu, she's dropping in distance after running over 1600 meters at her last in fact, for a while she's been running over 1600 meters, and from that last form line, Pfizer coming through to win Alpha Betty, who ran close up in 3rd position that day behind this filly Redu, and she also ran 3rd behind Pfizer. So I think there's quite nice form on offer here with number 6 Redu, and I think that she's a horse that will certainly be competitive, and as I mentioned, there's been a bit of support around for her. We've got a number of horses that won their maiden last time out. That was number 7 Greenlight Queen, you got number 9 Zelta Star, you've got La Madalena was a winner 2 starts back and ran a nice race subsequently last time out. Number 8 Kawakazi, she's having a first start for Trevor Brown. Sean Veal takes the ride. This filly, if she has to reproduce some of her Cape runs behind Scarlet McCaw, she ran 3 lengths behind Scarlet McCaw. Run of that nature will see her certainly being competitive. 3 lengths behind Family Power, and then last time out when running in a class 3 with bottom weight, she didn't really put her best foot forward that day, but she's certainly capable of a lot better. And then another filly that I've been keeping an eye on is number 14 Ethereal View. She made up some nice headway last time out. She was inconvenienced by the draw. She's got a deep draw once again of gate number 14. That's where she jumped from. So she will need quite a bit of luck in running, but she's a horse that I think could certainly be doing her best work at the finish. She now steps back up in trip to 1400 meters, and she could be there or thereabouts. A nice type of horse to include into trifectas and quartets. You've got this filly Buttercup Baby, who ran a nice race last time out, winning 3rd behind Tara Star. And then Colorado Creek, who was absolutely flying at the finish last time out. She was just touched off by 2 Gs. Bowen Kobo has got this filly in a good space. Muzieni takes ride. She's been given a 3-point penalty for her last second. She jumps from gate number 13, but as much as she'll need luck in running, I think that she'll be given a chance and will be doing her best work at the finish. So race number 4, not straightforward, very, very tricky, as I've mentioned. Numbers that you can include numbers 3, 5, 6, 8, 13, 14 and 15. Those are going to be the sort of the 7 horses that I think could well get you through leg number 1 of the pick 6. If I have to be pushed into a corner for a top choice, I'm going to go each way. Number 3 Prom Queen here, who's currently trading at around 14-1 in the market. Jumps from gate 3, rating drop. Serena Moodley rides for Freaky Krailing, and I think this could be the right type of race for this filly to be competitive. Winner in place here on number 3 Prom Queen. You can get 22-10 a place on Hollywood for top 4, and you can get 14-1 for a win. But a race that's not straightforward, and you need to go as wide as you possibly can in leg 1 of the pick 6. We're on to race number 5, 2,400 meters. The first of our minor features on the day, 13:55 is the off time. It is a World Sports Betting Highland Knight Cup, and the 5th race on the program is the start of Jackpot 1. We've got a rerun, that of Shoot the Rapids when finishing 2nd last time out.
Capsaicins under heavy fire at the 300, and here's where Shoot the Rapids and KG's Delight come together. KG's Delight getting to Shoot the Rapids, who's fighting on the inside. KG's Delight though, white sleeves and cap, goes on a half a length, and it's number 7 KG's Delight from Shoot the Rapids. That's Huddle Stay. KG's Delight with the winning formula. Shoot the Rapids, Imperial Power, Broadway Girl, Capsaicin and Palermo.
Well, Shoot the Rapids was returning off a very lengthy layoff. He was last seen when finishing 2nd in the Gold Cup prior to his latest effort, and then 2nd last time out behind KG's Delight. Just fitness catching him up over the final bit there. He had to give 4.5 kgs to the winner that day as well. So I thought a run full of merit. He's got no stamina concerns whatsoever. He's run second in the Gold Cup, as I mentioned, over 3,200 meters as a 3-year-old, and he had his first start as a 4-year-old last time out. He's now second up after that lengthy layoff. He'll strip a much fitter horse for this run, and he's also having his second run after a Gelding. He's having his second run at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. He's only run, he ran third over 1,750 meters. Craig Zaki takes ride here for Frank Robinson, and this horse is certainly going to go very, very close to winning. I think it is a straight 2-horse race with numbers 2 and 3 rather. And I touched on number 3, Shoot the Rapids, who would have needed his last start. He would have come on with a run under the belt, and he'll be ready to rock and roll in this contest. He is the best weighted horse in the race, 1 point clear of number 2, Cape Eagle, who desperately needed his last start, and he was beaten behind Miss Platina that day. He had to give 9.5 kgs to the winner, beaten 4.5 lengths. He returned off his run in the Summer Cup, where he ran on quite nicely to a point. He was beaten 4 lengths behind Atticus Finch, and that was his first time traveling to a new province. And I thought he ran with credit that day. And after that Summer Cup run, things didn't go too smoothly for him. He had a few issues at the yard here in KZN had to sort out and just get under control. And with his last start under the belt, he did not have a gallop heading into the race, so neither that run quite badly. That run would have brought him on a ton. He's certainly better for that run. He goes into the race a much fitter horse. Sereno Mudley knows him well, and he's got a very good record when he's second up. He's had 7 runs for 3 victories and 2 seconds, and he's a winner over course and distance. He in fact won this race last year when beaten one-way traffic, and that was when he went over 2-4 for the very first time in his career. So distance, no issues for him. He'll be fitter, as will Shoot the Rapids, and I think that these two horses will fight it out. So in terms of pick sixes, place accumulators, bar pots, jackpot 1, I think all you need is numbers 2 and 3. I think it's a nice race to get involved in a bet like the Exacta. Some boxed exactas here with numbers 2 and 3. In order of preference, I'm going to go with number 3. Number 3, Shoot the Rapids, just ahead of number 2, Cape Eagle. That's, I think, how they could maybe finish. But number 2, Cape Eagle, he's a big runner. He's tried and tested, and he's certainly a big player for top honors. So 2 and 3, swingers, box exactas. I think that's a player in race number 5. These two horses to fight it out. Race number 6 on the program, 2:30 is the off time, 1,750 meters is the distance. This is a World Sports betting Scarlet Lady, and it's a field of 9 runners that are set to compete in this contest. Before I get into race number 6, we've got a rerun, that of Mascherino when finishing 3rd last time out.
Marshall asked to attack. Officer in command comes under the drive. I Salute You's trying to put it together, but still Sundance Kid goes a length and a half. I Salute You's now starting to inhale them on the outside, and Muzieni and I Salute You inhale Sundance Kid to win going away. Field Marshal or Mascarina? Mascarina diving late at Field Marshal in a photo.
Yep, a very nice run from Mascherino when taking on the boys last time out and doing her best work at the finish. She came from last that day to finish 3rd. I thought that was a great run, great comeback run from her, and Field Marshal coming through to win from that form line. Field Marshal was a winner last week. This filly, I think that she was generously priced up at 7-2. There's been support for her. She's now trading at 5-2 in the market. Your favorite is number 2, Spirit of Lavana, at 2-1. Number 1, Sasha's Dream, is at 5-1. It's 8-1 about number 5, Forgiveness, and number 8, Celtic Beauty. You can then get 12-1 and better balls. Those number 6, Mascherina. This filly, she's back up in trip to 1,750 meters. I don't see an issue with the distance. She's run 2nd over this trip when 2nd behind Celtic Beauty, and that was last year on the 18th of Feb. I think she's a filly that's improved nicely. She's going about her business the right way, and I think that she's certainly going to be a big runner for top honors here. I'm going to make her my top choice in this race here. I liked her comeback run a lot, and I think that the distance will suit her. With Gavin Lorena in the irons, she's a big player, well-bred daughter of Give Me the Green Light, related to Malmoose, full sister to Malmoose, and I think that she's going to go very close to winning. Number 2, Spirit of Lavana, quite a useful 2-year-old. She's only had 2 starts as a 3-year-old when finishing 7th behind Lucrative in her first run as a 3-year-old. And then last time out, she ran third behind Ice Rain. That was over 1,600 meters. Andrew Fortune takes a ride. She goes up in trip to 1750. I don't see the distance being a concern. I think that she'll be able to get the trip. And she jumps from gate 2. She's been sparingly raced, which is quite interesting. Perhaps she's a filly that got a few niggles that the yard have needed to get on top of. And she's only had 2 runs as a 3-year-old. She's going to be 4 soon in in August at least. And it's going to be interesting to see how she shapes up in this contest. She's been tested at a fairly useful level. She ran in the Tequini as a 2-year-old when finishing 5th behind Quid Pro Quo, which I thought was quite a nice run that day as a 2-year-old. So I think that she's certainly going to be in with a shout. She'll have a fair share of supporters as well. Number 1, Stash's Dream. I'm not quite sure what to make of this filly. She takes a significant step up in class. She ran second behind Mocha Blend, who I think is going to be a very, very useful sort. I'm keen to see where Mocha Blend's, where she runs next time out. And then last time out, she ran second to Hodgepodge. I'm not quite sure Hodgepodge would be competitive in this race here. I think that she could maybe run into the money, but I think there'd be others ahead of her when it comes to the win. And this filly, she comes in with 52 kgs on the back. Rachel Venica is +1 here. So it will be interesting. I think it's going to be a good test for her, a nice acid test for this filly. Doug Campbell will get a line to see where she is in her career and where he could perhaps place her next time out. I think she could be held, but maybe 3rd or 4th position wouldn't be too far out for her. Number 8, Celtic Beauty. I think there's value about this filly at 8-1 in the market. She comes in with top weight of 61.5. Not going to be easy. I liked her comeback run last time out over 1,200 meters when beaten behind Teflon Man, beaten 2 lengths that day. She ran in a strong race that day, and I thought that she ran with credit. She went to the front and she set the fractions that day, and she was far from disgrace. Over 1,200 meters. She'll be at home over this distance. She's a winner over course and distance. She's won twice from a four efforts, and she's done very well at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. 6 runs for 3 victories. It's a track that she absolutely thrives at. She's run her best races here, and I think that she's going to go very close. She ran in the Michael Roberts when 4th behind Imelenze Yokududuma. She's run 4th behind Mary's Greenlight in the Flamboyant. 3rd behind Gladiatorian, 3rd behind See It Again. So very, very good form to a name. And at 8-1, there could be quite a bit of value here about Celtic Beauty. Only concern is that she's got to give weight away to the field here, and 3 kgs to Masharina, which I think could come into account over the final bit there. So that is Celtic Beauty. And then one more horse I want to touch on. That is this filly, Miss Platina, who I think will be a lot better now that she's back up in trip. I don't think the mile trips quite played into her hands last time out, and especially the pace that they went that day. She reported fatigued. She's been off 3 weeks. She's been given a nice 3-week rest after her last run. She's a 2-time winner over course and distance. Muzieni knows her well. She's got 60 kgs on the back, so I think that she'll be in with a shout here. And then you've got Forgiveness, who could make a presence felt in this contest as well. But in order of preference, I'm going to go number 6, Masharina, as my top choice, followed by number 8, Celtic Beauty. I think is value in the race at 8-1. I'm then going to put number 2, Spirit of Lavana, and then number 4, Miss Platina. So I'm going to tip them in that order. In terms of the pick 6, I think 3 horses. I think 3 horses could be good enough. 2, Spirit of Lavana, 6, Masharina, and number 8, Celtic Beauty. I think those 3 horses will be good enough here. And in terms of the place accumulator, well, I'm just going to go numbers 6 and 8 in this leg of the place accumulator, with the Celtic Beauty being the value and my top choice being number 6, Masharina. Next up is race number 7 on the program. This is a listed race. It is the World Sports Betting Sledgehammer. 1,750 meters is the distance. 3:05 is the off time, and your favorite is number 8, Legal Counsel, trading at 18-10. There's been support around number 5, I Salute You, 9-2 into 28-10. Number 4, Rapidash, is trading at 33-10 in the market. You can then get 8-1 about last year's winner, number 3, Narina Trugan, 8-1 about number 6, Salukwe, 8-1 about number 7, Command Pilot. Number 1, Fire and Flames, 14-1, and then number 2, Quartermain at 33-1 in the market. I think it is a very competitive race. I think there's a number of horses in with winning chances here. I'll start with the favourite, number 8, Legal Counsel, who is turning out to be quite a useful sort from the Justin Snaith yard. He's the son of Legislate. He comes into the race with just 53 kgs on the back. I thought a very gutsy winner last time out when beating La Pulga. He went from start to finish that day. He's been given a 4-point penalty for that victory. He tries Hollywoodbets Scottsville for the first time. I don't think he'll have an issue with the track at all. And I think that he's a horse that's going places, the son of Legislate. So this could be a nice starting point in his career and a nice test for him to see where the yard are going with him and to where he could go to next. So 18-10, I think a realistic price about him. And I think that he's going to be a big runner. He's looking for a hat-trick. Number 5, I Salute You. A very, very good win last time out when beating Sundance Kid. The step up and trip looks like it's going to suit him down to the ground. He got going late on in the day last time out when the blinkers were equipped for the first time. He's gone up 6 points for that victory. He comes into the race with 53, the exact same weight as Legal Counsel. He's also improving, and he's also a 3-time winner. So 9-2 into 28-10. His supporters have already got stuck into him, and they are certainly looking for a big performance from the son of Socrat, who Muziani has gotten to know quite nicely now, having ridden him twice for a win when beating Sundance Kid and Field Marshal coming through to win from that form line. So he'll be in with a big chance. Number 4, Rapidash. Well, he ran second last time out to the Real Prince. In that race was Seat again, who ran well below expectations that day. And the Real Prince is going to be a real sort to be reckoned with here in the KZN Champion season. A horse that's just progressing nicely with a race in a well-bred son of Give Me the Green Light, and he's going about his business the right way, and showed her that he's getting better once he stepped up in trip to 1600 meters. Rapidash, while he's been tested at a fairly useful level, he comes into the race with 60 kgs. He's got to give weight to the entire field. Not going to be too easy here, especially giving weight to horses that are improving on the up. He's a 3-time winner. He's probably been a bit of an underachiever for the connections. He did win the Gold Rush as a 3-year-old. Therefore, his stakes are over 5 million rand, and I'm sure the yard would have expected him to win a bit more than 3 races. But he is a 3-time winner. His last win came when he beat Pakaya. That was in a Class 2 at Hollywoodbets Durbanville over 1800 meters. He races off a mark of 108, and I think that over 1750, he'll have no issues with the distance, and he'll be in with a big shout. Number 3, Narina Trugon. He beat Imalenze Yokuruduma last year when winning this race on a mark of 97. That was the race that just kick-started his career here in KZN. He then went on to win on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day when beating Money Heist. He ran third in the Cup Trial behind Oriental Charm, who won the Hollywoodbets Durban July. And Narina Trugon, solid run last time out, doing his best work at the finish when fourth behind Winter Games, and that was in the King's Cup. He'll be suited by the step up in trip to 1750. He ran second in the Michael Roberts behind Imalenze Yokuruduma 3 runs back. So he's definitely going to be in with a strong chance. You've got number 6, Salukwe, who's certainly improving with racing ever since he's relocated here to KZN. He won the Umtumboti last time out when beating Miss Platina. I thought a very nice win. Beating Miss Platina. He went to the head of affairs, and that's where he stayed. In that race, who ran fourth was Royal Victory, who has subsequently come out to run second in the Champions Challenge up in the Highveld a couple of weeks ago when beaten by Fire Attack. And that was a great run from Royal Victory, bouncing back to form, and he ran fourth behind Salukwe last time out. And I think this could be a nice race for Salukwe, a nice race to see where they are, and a good test for him. Sereno Mudley has gotten to know him well, riding him 7 times for 3 wins. And then Fire and Flames, who tries a distance for the first time. He's run against very top sorts, the likes of Truth, Melek, Cosmic Speed, Main Defender at his recent outings. And if he gets the distance, well, then he could make his presence felt from gate number 1. And certainly a very nice race, I think, race number 7. I think we'll get good indicators from this race as to where a few of these horses are going for the season. And let's see how number 8, Legal Counsel, does go. The yard could have a few nice races in mind for the son of Legislate. In order of preference, it is hard to tip them in this race here. I think it's a very tough race. I think in terms of the exotics, you probably need to go a bit wide in this race here. More than half the field, probably most likely in this race here. I'm going to go with the 8-horse Legal Counsel as my top choice. I'm going to then tip number 3, Narina Trigon, as my second choice. I liked his last run. Then number 5, I Salute You, the 4, Rapidash, and then the number 6, Salukwe. So 8, the top pick, by number 3, Narina Trigon, then number 5, I Salute You, and followed up by number 4, Rapidash, and then number 6, Salukwe. But a race that's not cut and dry. You need to include a number of these horses in the exotics. A very, very tricky race, but a nice race for all that. That's been the Sledgehammer, a listed race over 1,750 meters. Race number 8, this is a C stakes of the 1,000 meter trip. 15.40 is the off time, and it is a wide open betting market. They bet in 4-1 the field, with number 11 Happy Analia at the top of the boards at 4-1, 5-1 about number 2 Master Bling, and number 8 Northern Warrior. Number 5 Rhythm is at 6-1. It's 8-1 about number 4 Sakala Iskatulo. It's 8-1 about number 12 B52. You can then get 10-1 and better Baldos for race number 8. Trappy contest, and a race where I think the field is needed in bets like the Pick 6 and Jackpots, because it's not easy, and you could get a train smash result here. I'm going to touch on a few horses that I think need to be included into the place accumulator. Number 4 Sakala Iskatulo. Sean Veal takes a ride for Clinton Binder. This horse has got some fairly useful high-fell form to his name. Second to Address the Nation, second to In the Ether, and then last time out he ran 4th to Mariachi Madness. The 1,000 meter trip I think suits him quite nicely, so I think reverting back to the 1,000 will be in his favour. He races off a mark of 72. He's dropped a few points since his last second. That was 3 rounds back, so he's dropped 3 points in 3 rounds, and I think it's a nice type of race for him to be competitive in. I think he'll go well. I think this is quite a shrewd move from Garth Puller to put the 4 kg apprentice aboard number 2 Master Bling, which means he comes into the race with just 54.5 kgs on the back. He's been running to a touch stronger at his last 2 starts. He ran 3.5 lengths to Hope His Power 2 starts back, and then last time out he ran 3.5 lengths to Abaddon. I think back to the 1,000 meters is spot on for him. He's had 5 runs over the trip for 4 victories and 1 second, and he races off a mark of 64. So this horse is very, very well in here with the 4 kgs off the back. He's a 5-time winner with just 54.5 kgs to carry. He does return off a 2-month layoff, but that's not a concern for me. I think he'll be ready, and as I mentioned, I think a very, very shrewd move from Garth Puller to put the 4 kg apprentice, who's riding quite nicely in Kolisi Mbuto. He's got quite a bit of confidence on his side, and I think that this horse is going to go well. I'm going to make him my narrow top selection in this race here, number 2 Master Bling. Number 5 Rhythm, he's been holding some solid form. He ran second to Princess Hannah last time out, and he is a horse that does well over the 1,000 meter trip with 2 victories and a second. He'll certainly be in with a chance. I like the return of form from number 6 Bless Me Fred, who finished 4th last time out, 2 lengths behind Future Flow. This horse, Northern Warrior, he's run against far stronger at his last 2 starts, but he's got a big weight to carry, 62.5 kgs on the back. Thankfully he's got 1.5 kgs off the back, otherwise he'd be carrying 64. He's run too strong at his last 2, and if the weight is not a concern, considering he has to give a lot of weight away, he's got to give 8 kgs to number 2 Master Bling, which I think is a heck of a lot of weight. So I think that is quite a lot, and it could come into effect over the final bit there. And I think Northern Warrior, if the weight's not a concern, he'll have his supporters. And then when looking at the balance, I think number 11 Happy Anelia is an obvious selection, given that she's run second at her last 2 outings. She does take on the boys now, and she will be tested, but she's knocking on the door for that next win, and I think the drop to 1,000 will suit her down to the ground. So in order of preference, I'm going to go number 2 Master Bling as my top choice here, followed by number 4 Sakala Iskatulo, then number 11 Happy Anelia, and number 8 Northern Warrior. I think those 4 horses, in terms of the place accumulator, they'll be good enough, but I do like the look of number 2 Master Bling with just 54.5 on the back, a 5-time winner. He's I think he's dropping in class a bit here, given what he's taken on in his last 2. The drop-in trip will be ideal for him, and he's going to go very, very close to winning. So that's going to be the top choice there at 5-1, but it's a very tricky contest, race number 8. Race number 9, penultimate race on the program, class 5 over 1200 meters, 4:15 is the off time, and I think that there's 3 horses that can win this race, numbers 3, 10 and 11. My top choice is going to be number 3, Ultra Quick. I liked him last time out when finishing 3rd to Now I Got You. The booking of Gavin Larina is certainly eye-catching and gives me even more confidence that this horse could get the job done. He was dropped a point after his last 3rd. He's back in form, and I think that this is the right type of race for him to make his presence felt in a big way. So he's going to be my top choice. Number 10 On Board. I thought that she won a very nice race last time out, doing her best work at the finish that day when beating Siberian Winter. She came from some way back from gate 11 at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and she's gone up to 4 points for that victory. She's been off the track for 102 days, but that's not a concern. She's a horse that has run well fresh in the past, proven last time out that she can run fresh, and I think that she's going to go close to winning, and she'll be in the shake-up. And then number 11, Price Platinum, who was a winner 2 starts back when beating Dawn Surprise over course and distance, and he actually is better off at the weights with Dawn Surprise, who he beat. So I think he'll confirm the form with Dawn Surprise. He was second best last time out behind Warm Winter Night, and back here in KZN I think will suit him quite nicely, and he'll be in with a chance as well. So 3, 10 and 11. Bipots completed by now. Pick sixes, place accumulators and jackpots. I think those are the 3 horses that you can play around. If you're looking for one more, maybe number 9, Perini Palace, but I think that filly could be held by these 3 horses here. And number 3, Ultra Quick. That's going to be my top choice in race number 9. Race number 10, final race on the program. It is a class 4 over 1400 meters, 1650 is the off time. And we've got a rerun that is of Mr. Nibbles when finishing 3rd at his last start.
Burning Man at the 300, Terminator now asked to go and fetch. Mr. Nibbles is running on neatly on the grandstand side. World of Our Own towards the inside. Terminator, Sonata Samaritan down the inside. World of Our Own, a 4-way go the last 50 metres. Terminator down the inside. World of Our Own's coming home strongly. World of Our Own, maybe a short head from Terminator. Mr. Nibbles.
Well, there we saw Mr. Nibbles running a very decent 3rd behind World of Our Own. I thought, well, what a nice race beating Terminator. Wide open race here. They're betting 6-1 the field. Mr. Nibbles, Global Movement, topped the boards at 6-1. 7-1 about number 6, Voldemort. It is 7-1 number 15, Rooster Bradshaw, who's got a deep draw to contend with. You can get 8-1 about number 7, Palermo. 10-1 into 8-1 about number 9, Mac Dazzler. It's then 12-1 and better bar those. I'm going to start with a horse that I think could be some value here, and that is number 3, Down by the River. He's having his first start for Com Naidu. He was formerly with Peter Muscat, and he finished 5th last time out behind Johnny the Thief, who's just been in terrific form, and a horse that has come good. This horse drops in class as well. He's been running against far stronger than what he meets here. The 1400 meter trip, he's had 3 starts for 1/3, so he hasn't particularly done too well over the distance, but I don't think it is an issue. I think he'll run with a lot of credit, and I think at 14-1 there could be some nice value. He's also dropped in the ratings, now racing off a mark of 77, so he's 3 points above his last winning mark, but he has dropped in the ratings from 82 in fact down to 77, and this could be a suitable race for him to make his presence felt in. So 14-1, I think he's a value in the race. That's number 3, Down by the River. Number 5, Mr. Nibbles. He's run 2 good 3rds at his last 2 outings, doing his best work at the finish. He gets the 4 kgs off the back, which is certainly going to be of great assistance. He ran a solid race 2 starts back of the mile trip here at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. I don't think the drop in trip is a concern for him. I think it will suit him quite nicely, especially from gate number 5. He'll be able to jump out from the gates, and should he be able to get into a nice position, I think he'll have something at the end to offer. So he'll be there at the finish, number 5, Mr. Nibbles. Number 7, Palermo. Last time out, not sure it was the right race for him. That Progress plate where he ran behind KG's Delight. He was fancied on that occasion, but yeah, he didn't put his best foot forward that day. Well beaten. Second in that race was Shoot the Rapids, who we see run earlier on. This horse, he's dropping in class. He's in a suitable race. He's in a handicap where the conditions suit him. And Muzieni gets a ride this time out for Tini Prinsloo. I think he'll be in with a nice shout in this race here, number 7, Palermo. And then number 11, Global Movement. He is a horse that I'm involved in. He's a horse that doesn't seem to want to settle early on in the race, and he just seems to cost himself over the final bit there. But I think dropping in trip could just be the key with this horse. He drops to 1400 meters. Samanga Kumalo in the irons. He's won over 1500 meters. He ran 4th over 14 on the poly track, a surface that doesn't particularly suit him. He's far better on turf. And with his last 2 starts under the belt, I think this is a suitable race for him. And if he can just settle early on in the running, I think he'll be able to finish off his race quite nicely. And he's quite a solid horse, and he's seldom far off the action. And he'll be in with a shout once again, number 11, Global Movement. And then you've got a horse like number 13, Ralph the Rascal, who was flying at the finish last time out, but will need a lot of luck in running from gate number 13, as he likes to get back in his races and run on at the finish. And then you've got number 15, Rooster Bradshaw, who's another that will need luck in running. Will be interesting to see what they do from gate 15, whether they decide to go forward with him, because he does have that early gate speed, and he wasn't disgraced last time out behind World of Our Own, beaten only 2 lengths that day from gate number 4. So let's see how he goes. But I'm going to go number 3, Down by the River, as my top choice, given that there's value about him at 14 to 1 in the market. I'm then going to tip number 5, Mr. Nibbles, as my second pick, followed by number 7, Palermo, and then horse number 11, Global Movement. So that's going to be my top 4 selections. And in terms of the final leg of Jackpot 2, I think you could certainly play around those forces. I think those forces could do the business here. If you're looking to go wider than that, well then number 13, Ralph the Rascal, the 15 horse Rooster Bradshaw could be worth including into the play as well. But yeah, I like the value here about number 3, Down by the River at 14 to 1, and then healthy respect for a few others in race number 10. Now, certainly looks to be quite a competitive card at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. I think the exotics are going to be worth a lot of money on the day, especially that place accumulator. It's a bet that I think could be worth taking and getting involved in, as will the Pick 6. I think Pick 6 pool will get to a useful mark on Sunday as well. 10 races on the card. We've got 3 feature races. It is a World Sports Betting race day with the World Sports Betting Sledgehammer, the listed race, that being the headliner, race number 7, a race where we'll certainly get some nice indicators about the horses that step out in that contest as to where they are going throughout the KZN champion season. But all the very best with racing on Sunday at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Hopefully I've managed to guide you in the right direction and you can back some winners on the day.